South, respectively. It's like this is old school football all of a sudden. And this Broncos team, hey,
Dude.
Denver Broncos are a real deal. Going into the season, the Broncos were some Super Bowl favorites, some Super Bowl, what's it called? Whenever you're like, people love you. Darlings, Super Bowl darlings by a lot of fans. And the Denver Broncos get a huge win over the Houston Texans down in Houston with a walk-off from Will Lutz. And there was a moment before this kick between Sean Payton, head coach of the Broncos, and Will Lutz. Hey, right through. Man, a little smile.
That's awesome.
I love everything about it because you have to think to yourself, hey, the head coach has got to really get along with the kicker if this is what he's saying to him right before. A little bit of a violent motion. Don't know exactly what he said. Just say, hey, Will, hey, look at me. Fucking, yeah. We need to make this one.
Do it.
We need to make this one. Will Lutz makes the kick. Will Lutz now, under Sean Payton, because he is with him at the New Orleans Saints. Sean Payton brings him up to Denver. Sean Payton and Will love it. 14 of 16 in clutch field goals under Sean Payton. This is all the way back to the Saints.
Pretty good.
Game tying or go-ahead field goals in the final 2 minutes of regulation plus OT. Yeah, I think Sean Payton has a lot of faith, and he's just reminding Will, hey, you're going out there to make this thing. Let's remember that. Smile. Will says you got it. Broncos back in a position where it's like, wait, is this the Broncos team that we all thought it was going to be? Is this the Broncos team that can go win a Super Bowl? Sean Payton has been able to do it in the past. Can he do it again, rebuilding it in his own image? Crazy to think about in Denver.
And the top four is incredible, but if you were to go back to 2014 and look at those top four teams, the wild card teams are nowhere near how good the wild card teams are now. You know, you're looking at that, and you're damn near worried if you're the 2 seed or the 3 seed or the 4 seed, just because, hey, Chiefs are there, Bills are there, Chargers are there. Like, there are a lot of really, let alone the Ravens, if they continue to play well. Like, the bye this year might be the most important bye the AFC has had in a long time.
Yeah, and then who's already out of it?
Yeah.
You know, who's out of it that we think might be in it? You know, there's some teams that might not be able to catch some of these teams. I'll be fascinated to see how the AFC falls. And also, congratulations to the Steelers and the Patriots.
And the Colts.
And the Colts. Tough one for me to be able to celebrate the Colts, but still number one in the AFC out here. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't you worry about it. Joining us now in the best truck down the line. Nothing stops a Ram truck.
No, it doesn't.
They ride high, ride comfortable, ride in style, ride with grit, ride with Ram.
Hell yeah.
That's a tagline.
Sure could be.
Yeah, it's not bad. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, a man who might be able to fill in some gaps that we might have missed, especially on the injury conversation in which there was a lot of superstars injured yesterday. Insider for the NFL at ESPN. Also a Michigan man. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter.
Yeah,
Shefty. Shefty, how you doing, brother?
Going on there, Pat? How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for joining us. Obviously, huge one between the Cardinals and the Cowboys tonight. We'll chit-chat about that a little bit later. Through the first 15, one of our headlines was the injuries. Feels like this was the worst weekend around the NFL, and today's a day where we're waiting on scans. Is that kind of how this normally works out, Shefty?
Well, there have been some bad weeks in the NFL. This is another one of them. Obviously, you have Jayden Daniels last night. That was really troubling to see and watch, and see him be escorted off the field with his left arm in a brace. Look, here's the deal. He's having the MRI today. It's dislocated his elbow. I mean, it's not going to be any different in the result there. And he's going to be out indefinitely. So Washington would have to keep alive its season and turn it around at 3-6 for him to have a chance to come back. And I would think it's safe to assume that Washington is going to be, moving forward, extraordinarily careful about when it puts back in Jayden Daniels. And so if they're not winning here in the weeks to come, then I think there's a real chance that we've seen the last of Jayden Daniels this season.
Man.
I think that's in the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
He's definitely, it's possible his season is over. The whole thing was troubling. You never want to see a player like that go down. You never want to see a player like that go down midway through the fourth quarter, down 31 points. That franchise has been through that before, and it's unfortunate the way the whole thing unfolded.
Yeah, I agree. And watching along live at the time because I couldn't fall asleep because I guess I'm just a sicko. And listening to Tirico and Collinsworth try to fill time was certainly something I was enjoying while I was watching it. And then you see that injury happen, it's like, oh, that's nasty. And then this morning I saw it, they were blurring it out on SportsCenter. That's how nasty it was. So obviously the future of the franchise, they're going to be careful with. We respect that. Let's talk about some of the other injuries that took place. Obviously, Tucker Kraft had a knee. Joe Alt had a knee, an ankle. Travis Hunter had a knee in practice. Do we know anything on or any updates on any of those particular guys?
Tucker Kraft, the test came back today. Torn ACL confirmed. Out for the season. Just brutal.
Dude, he just took over the NFL last week.
Fuck, man.
By the way, I do think this is Tucker Kraft's 25th birthday today. So
It is.
Jordan Love had an awful 27th birthday yesterday. Tucker Kraft had an awful 25th birthday today. There are a lot of bad birthday celebrations here with the Packers. And Tucker Kraft had developed into, you could argue, maybe the best tight end in the game right now. Coming off a huge game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, have been unbelievable. Not only is he a great receiver, but he's a great blocker. He's a vital part of that offense. You see the numbers right there. Jordan Love targeting Tucker Kraft is off the charts. That target is now taken away. So, I mean, it's a tough one. I guess you're going to have Musgrave try to step up. I wouldn't think that they'll try to do anything at the trade deadline, but just a bad injury.
Yeah, it sucks. Jaden Daniels, all these suck, by the way, because they're all superstars, which is something to think about. Joe Alt, ankle, and Travis Hunter would be the two from that particular. Travis Hunter came out of practice. He's on IR. They said his ACL was intact. That means they were scared it was an ACL, it sounds like. Putting him on IR is just to make sure he's 100%, or what are you hearing out of there, the news that dropped on Friday from Thursday's practice?
Well, first of all, Travis Hunter is somebody that doesn't miss time. So when he goes down and he's out for 4 weeks, at minimum, that tells you it's not great. And I think it's going to be, my sense is it's going to be beyond that. It's going to be, as I was told, it's going to be, quote unquote, a while before Travis Hunter comes back.
Jeez.
And Jacksonville has been winning. And as long as they stay alive, I think we could see Travis Hunter again later this season. But I put this a little bit in the Jaden Daniels category. You're going to be careful with this guy. And they're in the playoff race right now, and they're doing a great job. But if they're not, you're not going to rush this guy back. You're going to be careful. And so I think it will be a little while before we see Travis Hunter again this season. I don't know exactly when, but as I was told over the weekend, it's going to be a while.
Travis Hunter, we will miss you, brother, and especially in this time where, a lot of growth can still happen for Travis Hunter on both sides of the ball. We'll miss him. Joe Alt with an ankle. We know what the Chargers are with Joe Alt. Obviously, the stats were a little bit polar whenever it was with Joe Alt, without Joe Alt. What should we be thinking here with Joe Alt as you look ahead?
Well, I go back and look. He hurt his ankle in week 2, I believe it was, or when was it, against the Giants? When did the Chargers play the Giants? What week was that? Is that week 2, 3, whatever it was, because Neighbors tore his ACL in that game. And before Neighbors went down, Joe Alt basically was carted off in that game with a high ankle sprain to the same ankle.
Oh.
He rested it, rehabbed it, and was able to come back weeks later. This time, my understanding is he's going to have a surgical procedure done to help stabilize the ankle. So whatever he missed last time, and I'd have to go look it up, I would think he's going to miss more time now. I'm going to guess he missed about 4 or 5 weeks. So, again, probably, hopefully, maybe, later this season, maybe.
Tough game, dude. Tough game. Football's a tough game. It's so hard to win. That's why, the Patriots winning for 20-plus years is so crazy to think about, because you lose a couple of your pillar guys, which is happening here around the league. We're literally just talking about it. You lose a couple of these pillar guys, all of a sudden your team looks vastly different. And it's like, are we even built to win without this person? And it's like, no. It changes everything, some of these injuries.
I mean, there a guy like Mikael Williams for the 49ers, their first-round draft pick, Nick Bosa. They lose Fred Warner to season-ending injuries. Now you're counting on your first-round pick. He tears his ACL yesterday. Where did the Chargers go get an offensive tackle now? It's not these guys. You can't find them. You can't find them. Where do the Niners? I mean, the Niners maybe they can go trade for some kind of edge, maybe, but it's brutal. It's so hard to try to replace that.
Yeah, it's impossible. Yeah, the injury thing is just crazy. It's a guarantee that it's going to happen. Who is it? Is going to decide whether or not it kind of sends your entire season off course? So we got a couple trade deadline tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Conman has a question for you.
Yeah, Shefty, it's interesting too. 3 of those players you just named got hurt on MetLife Stadium again. That's been a convo going over the last couple of years. But looking at Washington, if Jaden Daniels is kind of going to be shut down, do you expect them to move some of the mercenaries, if you will, that they traded for just for this year? Debo, he's on a 1-year deal. Laramie Tunsil was acquired for picks. I don't know what his contract situation is, but do you see Washington maybe now becoming sellers then?
It's a great question. It's an interesting point. I would say this. They're probably not there yet mentally. I'm not going to tell you that couldn't happen. It's funny. I had a team say something like that to me this morning. But every team approaches this differently. And obviously this is fresh in their building this morning. The loss last night, losing Jaden Daniels. I don't know how they'll react to it yet. You're not the first person to raise that issue today, but I don't have the answer to it, unfortunately.
Okay, it's a pretty quick turnaround for them to have to make an entire franchise-determining decision, but they have to because trade deadline's tomorrow. You saw the graphic up there. Any trade is possible! Because of things that have happened in the past. Now, obviously, trade deadline has some massive names, like Marshawn Lynch ends up with Seattle. Carson Palmer goes out to the Raiders. He gets traded. Minkah Fitzpatrick gets traded. Could he get traded again, maybe? Jalen Ramsey ends up with the Rams during trade deadline. Eric Dickerson, big trade during the deadline. Herschel Walker traded during the deadline. Randy Moss traded. Christian McCaffrey, remember, from the Panthers to the Niners in the middle of the season. Then they say, yep, you're actually just going to take on the entire workload on the offensive side. I think he ran for a touchdown, threw a touchdown, and caught a touchdown like in his first game with the Niners immediately upon arrival. Then we have the possible buyers there. Now, obviously, any trade is possible with the teams that are potentially on a little bit of a run, which is the possible buyers. This is playoff hopes, playoff dreams, playoff